everyone, and welcome to the final episode of our ChatGPT series. Nowadays, many people use ChatGPT to assist with learning and work, but it can also be very helpful in everyday life and personal growth. Often, we have questions that are hard to ask, either because we're shy or afraid of being perceived as boring. We might not always have friends or experts around to answer them. Over time, this can cause us to lose the curiosity we had as children. At this point, generative AI, like ChatGPT, can provide a safe, private, and objective analysis. In today's episode, we'll discuss some applications of ChatGPT that are less commonly mentioned. These include things like verifying scientific evidence behind products and services, debunking urban myths, changing personal mindsets, enhancing social skills, learning new skills, or simply satisfying our curiosity. Now, I'll share 10 methods I personally use. Let's get started. First, fact-checking. We often hear many claims in society, online, or from older generations. Some are very persuasive, but how do we distinguish between what's true and what's false? At times like this, we can ask ChatGPT, based on current evidence, which claims are likely true and which are false. For example, one of the myths I had during my high school years was, does playing basketball really help you grow taller compared to playing soccer? ChatGPT's comprehensive conclusion is that the difference is very slight. It's not as dramatic as imagined. More jumping doesn't lead to significantly more height. So, the idea that jumping leads to more noticeable height difference is not accurate, as the difference is quite minimal. Today, we're often exposed to promotions or KOL endorsements, claiming that certain products are effective and scientifically backed. We need to be cautious about conflicts of interest in such endorsements, as they could involve advertising, promotions, or even research that may be biased. To get an objective analysis, it's best to rely on third-party verification. ChatGPT can consolidate information from the web to offer a relatively objective answer. For instance, you can ask, do collagen drinks really improve skin health? ChatGPT will provide a detailed discussion, such as the differences in effectiveness before and after the age of 30. By cross-referencing the data, it gives us a clear answer, helping us make more informed consumer decisions. However, remember, if the decision is important, it's best to verify the information with another reliable source to ensure accuracy. Only then can we make wise decisions. In the case of collagen drinks, the conclusion is that unless combined with a healthy diet, the effects might not be significant. Second, setting goals. I believe everyone has different goals in life, but sometimes we don't know how to start setting goals and making plans. We can ask ChatGPT to help us, taking on the role of a mentor, to create practical goals and action plans. For example, if we have a specific goal, like losing weight or finding a job by a certain date, we can ask ChatGPT for advice. Can you help me set a fitness goal with achievable milestones? It will give us a feasible weight loss target and then calculate the daily exercise or nutrition intake we need. Of course, we can provide more information to help refine the plan further. It could even break down the plan into weekly and daily schedules, which is great. But we also need to know how to stay motivated, as it's often easier said than done. Many times, we have friends who are eager to change jobs but haven't been successful. So, how can we make ourselves more goal-orientated and motivated? We can ask, can you design an action plan for finding a new job? ChatGPT will provide a detailed plan. This way, setting goals, making plans, staying motivated, and tracking progress can really help us stay on course. Third, getting health advice. Sometimes we encounter unexpected situations, and it's important to have some basic emergency knowledge. Before consulting other professionals, the easiest way is to turn to ChatGPT for advice on how to handle a situation. For example, if you get a cut while running, or if a friend suddenly faints, it might be difficult to get immediate guidance from a doctor. In such cases, you can ask ChatGPT for a specific advice on what to do and whether an ambulance should be called. For instance, you could ask, how should I treat a cut while running? ChatGPT might suggest that you first stop the bleeding, then clean the wound. after applying basic first aid, it will recommend seeing a doctor for a proper checkup and further treatment. Sometimes we might face more serious situations, like when a friend suddenly faints. Some people may think it's okay to just wait for the person to wake up, but is that really the best option? In such a case, you could ask, what should I do if my friend faints? ChatGPT will advise you to first check for responsiveness and breathing. It will also suggest calling emergency services immediately, because a few minutes could make all the difference in life or death situations. So, when you're in an emergency and can't access a professional, asking ChatGPT for advice is a good starting point. However, remember that ChatGPT only provides initial guidance, and it's always best to seek professional medical advice. Next, having workplace guidance. In the workplace, we not only have to handle our job responsibilities, but also manage interpersonal relationships carefully. However, there are a few courses that teach us how to deal with these relationships, and often we have to learn on our own. If we want to express our opinions to a colleague but don't want to strain the relationship, how can we strike a balance in our conversation? Or, what if the task isn't originally our responsibility, but now a colleague expects us to take it on? How should we respond? ChatGPT can offer advice on how to communicate effectively and handle situations like these. For instance, if we want to discuss a salary raise with our boss, ChatGPT might suggest we first review our performance over the year. We should also understand the average salary for our position and be prepared to present this information during the conversation. It may recommend that we start by expressing our positive feelings about the company, followed by explaining our situation, and finally making the request. It will even provide advice on how to respond to questions or pushback from our boss during the meeting. This is great for preparation for anyone looking to increase their salary. Similarly, if a task was previously not your responsibility, but you're now being asked to take it on, ChatGPT can help you figure out how to politely decline. You can then customize its advice to find the approach that feels most comfortable to you. ChatGPT offers practical tips that can help you improve your communication skills and enhance your interpersonal relationships at work. If you anticipate important, awkward, or potentially relationship impacting conversations, you can always turn to ChatGPT for suggestions on how to approach them. Fifth, identifying scams. Over the past decade, rapid advancements in information technology have brought us great convenience, but they've also made it easier for scammers to reach us. Scams are constantly evolving and can be difficult to recognize, making it hard to stay protected. When we encounter situations such as shopping, relationships, investments, or any other scenario, how do we differentiate between legitimate offers and scams? For example, if someone suddenly asks us to pay a sum of money or provide personal information, how do we tell if it's genuine? Especially when scammers seem extremely trustworthy, it can be difficult to know what to do. This is where ChatGPT can be helpful. If we're unsure, we can describe the situation to it and ask for advice on identifying potential red flags. Sometimes, talking about these things with friends might feel embarrassing, but ChatGPT offers a judgment-free space. For instance, if we're talking about an online romance, we can share the details with ChatGPT and ask if it feels like a scam. While ChatGPT won't give a definitive answer, it will point out any suspicious behaviors or patterns, such as asking for money or giving vague responses. It might also suggest that scams are common in such situations and recommend discussing it further with a trusted friend. Similarly, if we meet someone online claiming to be a stock market expert offering to help us make money, we can ask ChatGPT for its opinion. It can highlight any red flags, such as promises of guaranteed returns or a lack of transparency. With more information, ChatGPT's analysis becomes even more accurate. By providing objective advice, ChatGPT helps us avoid potential scams without worrying about embarrassment or revealing private concerns. It's a useful tool for navigating tricky situations where it's difficult to assess the true intentions of others. Sixth, improving interpersonal skills. Managing relationships and improving communication skills is an essential life skill, often more important than academic subjects. However, most schools don't teach these skills explicitly, so we often learn them through trial and error in real-life situations. The problem is, sometimes we don't even realize we've made mistakes, and it's hard to figure out how to avoid them in the future. This is where ChatGPT can be particularly useful. If you're looking to improve your communication skills or handle relationships better, you can ask ChatGPT for advice. Whether you're trying to repair a relationship with a family member or make new friends, ChatGPT can provide personalized suggestions. For example, if you're facing tension with a parent due to a misunderstanding, you could ask, "How can I rebuild my relationship with my father?" ChatGPT might suggest reflecting on the situation, offering a sincere apology, and suggesting concrete actions to repair the relationship. This type of guidance can be really valuable in navigating personal conflicts. If you're looking to make new friends, you can ask, "What are some ways I can make new friends?" ChatGPT may recommend joining various groups or activities. However, since everyone's personality is different, if you're someone who's more introverted, you could follow up with, "Are there methods for introverts to make friends?" ChatGPT would tailor its advice to your specific needs, such as suggesting smaller gatherings or online platforms where you can meet people in a more comfortable environment. Whether it's repairing a relationship, making new connections, or enhancing your communication skills, ChatGPT can offer tailored advice based on your situation and personality. It's a great resource for improving social skills and building stronger interpersonal connections. 7th, providing financial advice. The internet is flooded with all kinds of budgeting and investment advice, and sometimes these sources may have hidden conflicts of interest. Finding objective and professional advice can be difficult, and reading books on the subject may feel dry and overwhelming. This is where ChatGPT can serve as a helpful financial knowledge guide. For example, if you ask, "How should I start my personal investment journey?" ChatGPT will guide you through the process, advising you to first assess your current financial situation, set investment goals, and determine your risk tolerance. It will also recommend learning the basics of finance and exploring various investment platforms. Since investments come with risk, especially in the beginning, ChatGPT will suggest starting with small amounts of capital. This way, even if you incur some losses, you'll learn from them without significant financial damage. Additionally, ChatGPT can provide a step-by-step plan for your investment journey, including advice on how to diversify your portfolio. It offers practical guidance on managing your finance. But remember, ChatGPT doesn't provide specific investment recommendations. When it comes to choosing individual stocks or deciding on particular assets to invest in, you'll still need to conduct your own research and make careful decisions. It's important to approach investing cautiously, as making informed decisions is the key to long-term success. While ChatGPT can be a useful resource for general advice and strategy, personal responsibility and further research are crucial in navigating the world of finance. Next, developing a positive mindset. When we experience negative emotions, it's not as simple as a friend telling us, "Don't think too much about it," to make everything better. Often, we know that we can't change our circumstances, but we can change how we react to them. So, how can we begin to change our mindset? ChatGPT can provide us with guidance on how to cultivate positive thinking. For instance, if you ask, "What practices can help me overcome negative emotions?" it will suggest that the first step is to acknowledge and accept those feelings instead of avoiding them. From there, it will guide you to find ways to distract yourself from the negative emotions, such as engaging in activities that promote positive thinking. It may even offer exercises to help reframe your mindset. While changing our way of thinking can be challenging, knowing the right techniques can make the process easier. Over time, you'll learn to navigate difficult situations and emotional challenges. What about dealing with emotional impacts from unfortunate events? Contrary to the common advice of simply pushing those feelings aside, ChatGPT recommends that we allow ourselves to fully experience and understand our emotions. By doing so, we can better process them and ultimately shift towards a more positive and resilient mindset. If some of its suggestions don't seem feasible, you can always ask for other, more practical methods. While it's true that changing our mindset is easier said than done, with time and consistent effort, knowing the right direction will allow us to gradually become more positive and proactive in facing life's challenges. The key is persistence, and in a couple of years, you could see yourself much more positive than before. 9th, Learning new skills. When we want to learn a new skill, like photography or a language, but aren't ready to jump straight into the formal lessons, ChatGPT can serve as a great starting point. It helps you lay the foundation by guiding you through the basics before you decide if you want to go deeper with professional courses. For instance, if you want to start learning photography, ChatGPT will first introduce you to important terms like shutter speed and aperture. It will then help you choose the right camera and suggest a series of basic exercises to practice, emphasizing the importance of continuous hands-on experience. Similarly, if you're looking to learn English and want to use Netflix as a learning tool, but you're unsure whether to use subtitles, ChatGPT can provide tailored guidance to your learning level. It might suggest that beginners start with subtitles in your native language, and then gradually switch to English subtitles as your skills improve. It will explain the benefits of this approach and help you develop a more structured learning plan. Whether it's photography, language learning, or another skill, ChatGPT can provide a clear, manageable learning path and make the process feel less overwhelming. It can adjust to your pace and preferences, ensuring that you stay motivated and that your progress is consistent and effective. Finally, unlocking your curiosity. This is probably my favorite use of ChatGPT. Often, we have questions that others might consider impractical or trivial, from topics in science and the supernatural to philosophy. When we're curious about things like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? ChatGPT is there to provide thoughtful, well-rounded answers. For instance, if we ask a more controversial question like, do ghosts really exist? It would acknowledge that science currently doesn't provide evidence to confirm their existence. However, it would also explain different cultural, spiritual, and psychological perspectives, discussing potential experiences and offering various interpretations. It would summarize the existing discourse on the topic, so we can form a well-rounded understanding. Even with topics like astrology or feng shui, where opinions vary greatly, ChatGPT can synthesize multiple viewpoints. For example, if you ask, how is the luck of the people born in the year of the tiger this year? ChatGPT can offer insights from astrology, talking about potential impacts on career, health, and relationships, based on interpretations of Chinese zodiac beliefs. ChatGPT is especially useful for questions that might not have clear-cut answers, or those that have a variety of conflicting opinions. Instead of simply Googling one-sided views, ChatGPT can help you navigate through the grey areas by providing a broader spectrum of ideas. This is where it truly shines, in allowing you to satisfy your curiosity about topics that might not have a definitive answer, but still spark interest. I've personally asked ChatGPT a wide range of questions, and it's been incredibly helpful in answering long-standing curiosities. In this video, I have shared 10 scenarios where ChatGPT can help with personal growth. However, it's important to be aware of the issue of AI hallucinations. When it comes to things you're interested in, it's essential to seek reliable information and fact-check on your own. Although ChatGPT is a powerful tool, maintaining real-world connections with people is a crucial part of developing and enhancing interpersonal skills. Don't forget to step out into the real world and engage with others. This is an important part of growth. Thank you again for watching this 5-episode series. I hope it helps you better understand ChatGPT to support your learning, work, and personal growth. I look forward to seeing you in the next series.